how to find out who you are, what your purpose is, and solve most of your current problems. I want to share with you today a technique that's been incredibly valuable for me, something that I continue to use on a weekly basis that really clears up your mind, gets you aligned, and gets you moving towards your ultimate goals, dreams, and purpose. It makes you see much clearer, it heightens your awareness, your presence goes up, and you get much less unnecessary thoughts and things that hold you back from going to where you want to be. Your excuses kind of disappear, fade into the background. When you apply this technique, it's something that I've used with many clients. It's something that I continue to use for myself as well. And it's very powerful. So with that introduction, I want to get straight into the technique. And it's very simple. All you have to do is spend time on your own. And when I say that, I don't mean go and take a vacation away from your family or whoever you live with, or even if you live on your own. I'm not telling you to do that either. I'm not telling you that you need to take a break from society and go live on an island. No, none of that. What I want you to do, if you want to get clarity, if you want to know who you are, if you want to know what your purpose is, if you want to solve most of your problems, spend time in solitude. This means that you cut yourself off from everybody and everything around you, and you spend some time with this person, with you and just with you. And all you're allowed to bring is a pen and some paper. And that's it. Nothing else. I mean no phone. I mean no computer. I mean no gadgets or electronics or anything else that could distract you. No physical objects that will pull you away from simply going within. Because that's the solution here. Oftentimes when people are looking for their purpose, when they're looking for what they're supposed to do or finding out who they are, this is what they do. They go online and they look for a test. They try to find something that will tell them the solution. And of course, the solution is already there. It's within you. It's waiting for you to take a look and discover it. In fact, maybe sometimes in your life, you've heard a little tiny whispering voice called your intuition. Now, sometimes when people hear that, they deem themselves crazy and think that they have somebody talking to them. Or if you just get a feeling, which is common too, you tend to brush it to the side and say, oh, well, no, I shouldn't do that. A situation that is a great example is, for example, when you're sitting in a class and there's a question being raised and you want to speak up, or you feel like you have to say something and then you don't. You suffocate yourself. So you're killing your inner voice. You're not following your intuition. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. A lot of people live their whole life like that. So spending time on your own can fix a lot of these issues. Any problem that you may have right now is often the result of the external environment. Because if you think about it, when you're born, you don't really have any other problems than your basic survival needs. That is it. And so if you already have those met, and you probably do if you're watching this, then you don't really have any problems. You might come to me and say, well, I have a lot of problems. I have stress, I have anxiety, I got depression, I have to do all this work, I feel terrible, I'm getting sick, I have the flu. You don't have any problems. Look, all those things are external factors that are pulling on you and making you think that you have these emotions. Also, it has a lot to do with conditioning. And so because what you've been told as you've been growing up, you really believe these ideas, you hold them in your mind, it's really hard to develop your own ones because you're socialized by society, right? Now, if you want to find out what your core values are and find out what you really believe in and what you think is right and what you want to do and what your purpose is and find out who you really are, you need to spend some time on your own. You need some solitude. You need to take some dedicated time for you because right now, chances are you're following everybody else's agenda. And this is really important that you listen to. Because if you're following everybody else's agenda, that means you're not listening to your own agenda, which means you're going to be unhappy. And if you're unhappy in life, what's really the point, right? So ultimately, everything that we do to try to chase happiness and get away from pain. Basics of human psychology. Well, what then tends to happen is that we try to please everybody because we think that by them being happy or happy, you think you're making them happy, right? By doing everything they tell you, you follow the system, you go to school, you be a good person, you try your best, and you never really follow your dream or your inner voice because you think, oh, well, then they wouldn't like me. Or maybe people judge you for the dreams that you have. Maybe you get negative feedback when you try to follow whatever your gut tells you to do. So if you're in that situation, you keep trying to please, and for some reason you're never really happy. I wonder why. Well, you need to find your own agenda. That's why. You're following everybody else. You're replying to the emails. You're going to school. You're going to your job. You're doing your work. Or maybe you're even running your own business, but you're still falling into everybody else's agenda and not your own. You're going to have a problem. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to experience what we call misery. So how do you end it? Turn it off. Turn it off. Okay? Turn it off and don't listen to it. Don't look at it. Same goes for the computer. Whatever else you have. Don't bring anything else with you. Go into a room, find a place, rent a spot, whatever you have to do. And at least a few hours. I mean, come on, you have time for everybody else, right? You have time for everybody else, but for you. And you call your time is when you get to do your hobby, right? That you probably even developed through being socialized. You never really listen. Maybe your hobby is what you love to do. Okay, well, maybe it's time to spend some more time with that thing. Maybe you could develop that into a career, into a living, into a fortune. It's possible, but not if you keep falling into everybody else's agenda. Serving the system through going through its tracks and doing everything everybody else is telling you to do without ever listening to you. Take some time. Listen to you. You'll be surprised by the profound ideas, the amazing thoughts, the valuable stuff that you have inside that you never really took the time to listen to. And one warning before you go into this activity is that in the beginning you will feel resistance and you will want to go back and turn your phone back on or go to your laptop, your computer, your TV, your video games, maybe even reading a book, listening to an audiobook. You think, oh, well, I might as well do that. That's also time with personal development. No, don't let that take over. That, again, is everybody else's agenda speaking. You're not really yet tuning into yourself. You will know once you're getting thoughts that are on a much higher level of consciousness. You will feel it. You will feel a shift in your whole physiology, your whole body, and your psychology. You'll feel a move up. You'll feel that you're stepping up, and you'll be able to hear everything that's going on within. So what I want you to do, try this technique, tell me what comes up, share in the comments if you want to. This has been extremely powerful for me. Again, I hope that it works wonders for you. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.